Hey guys, welcome back to Maelstrom Gaming Studios. I'm Craig, and we're going to find out today if the Tyranid Codex or something in the Tyranid Codex is capable of taking down the biggest, baddest model in all of 40k right now, Abaddon the Despoiler. So stick around, find out, see what we have that can potentially take out Abaddon the Despoiler in this video coming up later. Before you do, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our content here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios. It really does help out our channel. If you want to become a channel member, thank you channel members. You really are what support us and allow us to keep going here on YouTube as well as grow our content. So thank you guys. Now, with all that out of the way, let's dive into today's video. One more thing before we dive into the true crux of this video. There's a giveaway going on right now. If you haven't seen it, we are working with Snot Goblin Gaming. They are providing some awesome terrain. Here's just a little bit of some of this terrain. I won't go too long into it right now, but it is injection molded, modular, awesome terrain. There's a giveaway. You can check out this video, has everything about it. If you're in the US, you can get some free terrain, and it's up for a first come, first serve basis. Kickstarter is going live very soon, next week, next Tuesday actually, for the full thing, but we've got videos. I'll put them everywhere. So if you want to get more details on that, definitely check out those videos and check out the Kickstarter. Use our link in the description and that'll help us out awesome. So now, why I'm making this video about can the Tyranids take out Abaddon? I've seen a couple channels, other channels, bigger channels obviously, that have done Abaddon versus the faction leader, or can Abaddon, who can kill Abaddon, blah blah blah, those types of videos, which are awesome and fun to do. However, our faction leader Swarmlord is not our best close combat character. He's arguably number 3, 4, depending on how you look at it, of our close combat characters. So from my perspective as a Tyranid player, they did not do the Tyranids justice by watching Swarmlord get chopped down by Abaddon. I won't go over the math here. You can find those videos if you want. Spoilers, Abaddon does beat Swarmlord every time, pretty much. Though, Tyranid players, as you know, we have ways to make units better. So we're going to go over those and see, can Tyranids truly be the army that can slaughter Abaddon in a one-on-one combat situation? So who, if you guys haven't paid up, who is Abaddon the Despoiler? He is their big, bad, supreme commander. Lots of lore to him, look him up. He has recently gotten an insane buff in the Chaos Codex. He is 300 points, Supreme Command Detachment. He's got a move of 6, a weapon skill 2+, blow skill 2+, strength 6, 9 wounds, 8 attacks, leadership 11, and a 2-up armor save and a 4-up invuln save. He's got a ton of special rules and weapons. His weapons, so he's got his Talon of Horus, and he's got his sword, which is Draconian. Talon of Horus has bolters on it. They're special bolters. They're Assault 4, 24 inch range, Strength 5, AP -1, 2 damage. The sword in melee is Strength +3, AP -4, damage 3. Wound rolls of 6 cause D3 mortal wounds in addition. He also can use the Talon of Horus in melee, which is strength user, so strength 6, AP -4, damage 1, but you get to double your attacks when you fight with that weapon. So basically he's got his strike and his sweep. Now we'll go over some of his special rules. These are the meaningful ones. He's got a few more, but they don't have any interaction with our combat we're going through today. So Mark of Chaos Ascendant. He basically benefits from all of the Chaos Gods. +1 strength in the first round of melee. That is Khorne. -1 to wound if the strength of the opponent's weapon equals or at least doubles the toughness of him. So in our case, that's probably going to be everything. That is Nurgle's gift. The first failed save every turn for Abaddon becomes 0. That is Tzeentch. And he always fights first. That is Slaanesh. He has a rule which we have seen on a couple models, Dark Destiny. He cannot lose more than 3 wounds per phase for whatever reason. He is the War Master, so he must be your Warlord. His Warlord trait is he gets +1 attack or D3 attacks versus the Imperium. He is the Lord of the Traitor Legions. So this is a special rule. One core or character unit can reroll hit rolls. Black Legion units, which he is, also rerolls wounds. Notice it says core or character. So he is one of the few models that can put this buff on himself. And then Wanton Slaughter is their Doctrine ability. Most Chaos armies are going to be in this from turn 3 through 5. So we're going to play that he will be in this Doctrine most likely for the fight. It's 6s to hit explode, just 1 extra, and then on assault, melee, and pistol weapons. So that's a lot. That is Abaddon. Now, rules of how this combat stuff is going to work out. I'm going to do 2 rounds. 1 round of the Tyranids going first, 1 round of Abaddon going first. We're just basically going to see if the Tyranid can fight first, can he kill Abaddon? And if he doesn't, can he survive the counter punch? Abaddon goes first. Can the Tyrant survive the counter punch? And if he does, can he kill Abaddon? Pretty simple there. We're going to do something that not everyone does, and I'm going to give each side 2 CP to spend. Now, there aren't really any reasons for Abaddon to be using CP. He's got no stratagems besides a command point reroll, and he can give himself +1 to wound, but that will be negated by the Tyranids, who have 2 very key strats, which is Trampling Charge and Indomitable Monstrosity. These really help boost their durability, but also their offensive capability. I think this is fair to include. Let me know if you don't think so in the comments, but I think this is very fair to include Trampling Charge, because if you are going up against Abaddon, you know, or you should know, now you do know, you need to kill him in one phase. You got to go in, you got to hit him hard, and you got to kill him, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare to deal with him for the rest of the game. Maybe you're sacrificing your Warlord or something like that, but it's a points efficient trade for you just because of how nasty Abaddon is. And if you are doing that, you should know you need to save at least 1 CP for Trampling Charge, because that is the only way to have a chance at killing Abaddon, because that is 3 wounds in the charge phase, which gives you an extra phase to potentially do damage to him. So this first one is the Tanky Foot Tyrant. He is coming in with Adrenal Glands. He has the Reaper of Obliterax relic, obvious reasons, and he has the Heavy Venom Cannon. Warlord trait, we gave him Adaptive Biology, and for his Psychic powers, we are just going to focus on Smite and Psychic Scream. You can give him whatever else you want to in your heart for this, but for the purposes of this, Smite and Psychic Scream. So if he is to go first in his first round, he can reliably do 3 mortal wounds Psychic phase, because he has 2 casts. You need 5s to get him off. On average, again, we're playing with averages here. You get those both off, you do 4 mortal wounds on average. He caps that at 3. Then the shooting phase comes with his Heavy Venom Cannon, and he will, on average, do 1 wound through with the Venom Cannon, which is 4 damage, but he breaks that down to 3, but technically he breaks that down to 0 because he has his Tzeentch Shield. So the first failed save is reduced to 0. So that breaks the shield for the turn. However, that is no damage done in the shooting phase. Now we go to the charge phase. You spend your 1 CP. Hive Tyrants have the Horn, Kite, and Keyword. So on a 2+, you are doing the 3 mortal wounds you can on the charge phase. So okay, now you've got him down to just 3 wounds remaining. And then you go to the fight phase. And you don't have to spend any CP here. All you need to do is just fight as normal. And you will do 3 mortal wounds on average and 3 damage to him in the fight phase. The mortal wounds alone kills him outright for the turn. The extra damage will help make up for if you fail to do anything in Trampling Charge, or if you fail to do 3 mortal wounds in the Psychic phase. The trick here, for those of you, maybe you're a Chaos player checking this out, is the Reaper of Obliterax relic. It has a stipulation where it ignores opponents' rules that ignore damage. So the way this has been addressed is Feel No Pain saves. You do not get to make Feel No Pain saves against this weapon. And it bypasses the rule of a model can only take 3 wounds per phase. Meaning really, you could go in with just one foul swoop of your weapon and do all 9 damage in one phase. I'll warn you, that's going to be a little tricky with it because of how tanky he is. But because Abaddon is -1 damage, you are only wounding him on 4s. And he has a 4-up invuln save. So you could get lucky with a lot of attacks. But nonetheless, the Foot Tyrant can kill him. Practicality to the Hive Tyrant doing this is that it could be pretty hard on a Foot Tyrant to get Smite and Psychic Scream to have Abaddon be the closest eligible target, just because there might be a screen or something blocking those psychic powers. Now, in return, you might be wondering, Abaddon likely does nothing to you in the shooting phase, so that's good. In the fight phase, he will deal 4 wounds plus 2 mortal wounds on average, which the Hive Tyrant will save roughly 4 of those Feel No Pains, because that's 14 wounds in total, which brings him down to 10 wounds. So the Hive Tyrant will survive the first round of combat on average against Abaddon. However, Abaddon fights first in the fight phase. So going first, Abaddon will just go first in the next phase, cut you down, and that's it. Practicality of this is that Abaddon could potentially spike his 6s to hit or spike his 6s to wound. In my math, I factored in just 1 6 to hit and just 1 6 to wound, I think. I think that's what I ended up doing. Maybe it was 2 6s to hit and 1 6 to wound. But then again, yeah, so your Hive Tyrant will probably survive 50% of the time. Barely, but he will survive the first round and he'll die the second round easily. But there is one more Hive Tyrant. I know you're all waiting to see it. One more Hive Tyrant that I think is obviously the best version to do it. And it's a little more gung-ho, but more practical to do it. And that is the classic Flyrant that everybody's using right now, if they're using a Flyrant. And that is the Adrenal Glands, Reaper of Obliterax, Adaptive Biology Warlord trait, and we'll give him Smite and Psychic Scream for purposes of this. Probably want to take Paroxysm or Onslaught on him for the other powers there. So, Psychic Phase, pretty easy to deal the mortal wounds, especially because he is fast and he can fly. If you really get yourself in a position, you could put him right next to Abaddon and guarantee that he takes those psychic powers. In the charge phase, you can easily do the 3 mortal wounds, and in the fight phase, again, you can easily do 3 more mortal wounds or 6 wounds outright. At this point with him, you could pay the CP, now that we're trying to take too much CP in this, give him extra attacks, make him hit harder, reroll failed wound rolls, all sorts of things. But for purposes of this Hive Tyrant I think is the easiest one. Now in return, the Hive Tyrant will still survive, because going from a 3-up to a 2-up or a 2-up to a 3-up save doesn't really change anything, because Abaddon's fighting you on your invuln save. But it's all the same. Abaddon was gonna cut you down in the second round of combat if he hasn't already in the first round. So little conclusions, thoughts. Many stipulations with this. It really does matter who goes first. Does Abaddon charge you or do you charge Abaddon? Being a flying Hive Tyrant, you have a lot more mobility to work with. Maybe you are using Onslaught or you're playing Kraken and you use the 8-inch advance and charge, put a psychic power on him there. So now you are rocking, what is that, 25 inches plus a charge. You'd take away maybe one of your psychic powers if you put it on himself, but still, you will have the ability to get the charge with a Flyrant. Trampling charge, I think, is key if you want to guarantee the kill. I don't think you can rely on doing all 9 wounds to him in melee. You can get pretty close, but I don't think you can rely on it. So trampling charge, having a CP there is key to get 3 extra mortal wounds out on him. The Reaper Obliterax really is one of the main reasons why Tyranids can do it, is because that relic is bonkers and it's perfect for going up against beasts like this. Yes, they still get an invuln save, but if you can only have to really rely on getting 1 wound through and him only failing 1, then you're good there. Indomitable Monstrosity can be good for keeping the Hive Tyrant alive. In all of those round 2s where Abaddon is fighting us, the only reason we were able to survive is because of Indomitable Monstrosity. If you didn't use that, he would die. Easily the Hive Tyrant would die, but still something there. In a world of dice, it is a dice game. 40k is a dice game, so a lot could go wrong. And for us, the Abaddon could spike his 6s to wound and just do, maybe he rolls 3 6s to wound and he rolls hot in his mortal wounds, and right there is probably enough to kill you outright anyway. You could fail to do 3 mortal wounds in the psychic phase, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but it could be annoying. And you could always roll that 1 on trampling charge, and if you fail to do mortal wounds and trampling charge, you probably are, you might, you're not for sure, but you probably will struggle to kill him in the fight phase. Do the Tyranids justice, everybody. I know you guys watching here are probably like, yes, Tyranids can do it, but everyone else who's saying, oh, let's fight the Swarmlord. No, the Swarmlord is not the character to fight. This Flying Hive Tyrant is. This Flying Hive Tyrant will kill Abaddon almost every time if he gets to fight first and you account for his psychic powers and account for trampling charge. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to show people who maybe you're a Chaos player, watch out. This Flying Hive Tyrant, who is, I don't know, 60% the price of Abaddon? No, that's not right. 70% the cost of Abaddon will kill him in 1 turn. And it feels good to know that we have a model that can take on the big baddie of this current 40k meta. If you want me to try this sort of combo against other big baddies in the universe or in the codexes, let me know. We can do some other ones. I know Connor definitely likes doing this style stuff, so maybe in the future I can hand those off to him and he can see how this Flying Hive Tyrant compares to other models in 40k. It would be fun to at least get a little comparison there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios.